too many technicians. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Look who's got the haircut.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Wow. I love that.
This is laziness. Less hair, laziness.
Laziness. That's a beautiful laziness right there. Hi, guys.
Hello, everyone.
What's going on today? It's Friday. Hello.
Hello, hello. Hello, June.
Buenas tardes. Hey, Sally.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Sally. So, everybody in top shape?
Sure, yeah. I'm back from vacation and
I was re-entry.
It was hard. So hard. Like, especially when there's so much to do when you come back, you know?
Well, this is our crazy time, right? The holidays.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, was this like the first car trip for your baby, for Sydney?
Well, kind of. We took her there when she was 6 weeks old.
So this was her first, like, kind of
6 weeks.
Yeah.
So she did a good job?
Yeah, they were both great. I mean, you know, thank goodness for tablets.
Yes.
And the baby.
Less of when, are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Mm-hmm.
Are we there yet?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. So Amber's getting a little extra day off just to, again, for re-entry.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
So it's Han and me that are decorating today.
Yes. So I'm going to kick it off today. And I wanted to do Halloween, but then somebody said that we need to do, yes, it does look beautiful.
Yeah.
We need to do fall. We can't just skip to Christmas or whatever, or Halloween. So I decided to do apple basket. And this is my template. And have you guys heard about coffee? We have, all three of us have our template and recipe shops on coffee. And Marlene has discounted her templates for Halloween. And this is a Christmas theme, right? Is this a cookie cutter set?
That's a cardinal cutter from, I don't think it's Anne Clark, but any cardinal will do, really.
So this is discounted, right? In your coffee shop.
Corn is discounted, but the cardinal class is on my coffee, and it's in the cookie school group.
Also, it's an actual tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
How to make this beautiful piece. So guys, go check it out. You can find link. It's running at the bottom of the screen. And Amber has her templates in the coffee shop as well. You can also find the recipes. Her famous filigree template is there. So be sure to check that out. And
that would look awesome on a Christmas decoration.
Yes, anything, right? Anything. Yeah. Filigree looks beautiful on anything. So this is my template, and it's also available in my coffee shop. It's a little glary because I have it in a sheet protector here. So I'm placing a piece of parchment over it, and we're just going to make cute little apples. These are not very big. These are maybe 6-7 inch. And I'm using red icing. And another thing I'm using are these to make the stem. Okay. So let's get started. And you can make these ahead of time. You see, I'm not completely following the outline. You can make them a little smaller or bigger, so you have a variety of sizes in your basket. And my icing is about 20 seconds. Okay, and I'm just going to take the scribe and smooth it a little. And now you want to insert the jimmies. These are brown jimmies.
And you don't have to make brown icing.
You don't have to make brown icing. Yes. So I'm gonna be using tweezers because it's just easier to stick them in. Okay. Once you get icing on your tweezers, it's kind of a pain. All right, so I'm just gonna place it there, and we can now play with it.
Yes, Patricia, we're constantly having to readdress our cameras, our audio, our it's a constant struggle. The joys of life.
All right, now you can add the leaf after it's crusted a little bit. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'll come back to it in a little bit.
Any of you guys go apple picking? Is that an activity you guys do in your neck of the woods? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, it's getting close to that time.
All right, so the next step for my baskets is, okay, I don't know if I'll have time to do both. So I'm going to show you and you can tell me which one, or I don't know if we can do both. So I've got this basket and this basket. So which one should we do? You want me to do this basket or this basket?
Guys, time to vote.
Time to vote.
Which one?
But I might have time for both, but like you see, these are completely different techniques.
Well, Han, can I ask you, if they vote for one, where are they going to get the other?
I will have it soon enough.
So you're going to load it though?
I'm going to load it, yes. I recorded both of them.
So we have a vote for the basket here.
Basket, okay, I'll do the basket.
Gold basket, 2 votes for the basket. Yeah.
So to make the basket, you need to use thick icing, and I colored my icing with ivory, and I did 2 shades, and I marbled it in a bag. And then I'm using, this is a basket weave piping tip. This is a standard Wilson 47. And then I'm also using, and this is a number 3 round tip. Okay. I'm going to be using flat side of this tip, not the one with the teeth. And this is a cupcake cookie. Yes, exactly. This is a cupcake cookie. I use this cutter. This is a pretty standard cutter. You can, I think, get anywhere.
Yeah, that's a common Wilkin one, eh?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
But because it doesn't have the really defined swirl, it's a little more versatile.
Yes. Oops. Is it coming out? Yes, it is. Excellent. Now I'm going to switch to my round tip.
We're conducting tests, trying to rectify the situation if you're hearing the sound change.
Yeah, somebody's basement is getting flooded.
I told you it sounded like water running.
So I'm going to leave a gap, and the gap should be approximately, well, not actually the size of this, but you see it's approximately the size of the width of the tip. 3 lines. So I'm using that to gauge the size of the gap. And I'm making my lines bigger. I didn't want to pipe a whole lot of these lines. So by making them bigger, I don't have to do a lot of what I'm trying to say, a lot of piping. Okay, now I'm going to pipe over the end. You don't want the end to be seen.
Jennifer's asking if any of us have done the basket weave as a RI transfer.
Oh, I think I have. I don't remember. I don't remember exactly, but I think I have. You can.
Mine,
What's really fun, what you can do, you can cut it basically. You can actually cut the basket weave once you pipe it. You use a cut. You can use a cutter that you dip in starch or something, and then you cut it. You have to let it dry, and then you can use it as a shape. That you have a shape that is basket weave.
oh, I've used a stencil. You can do, portions of it with a stencil.
Oh, you have a stencil?
Mm-hmm. I don't have it like listed anywhere, but yeah, I made one.
Of course you did. Oh,
Oh yes, Jeremy, that's right. She did the basket weave on her cupcakes too.
oh yeah. Forget.
Oh, Sally, try it one time. You might like it, the basket weave. It's more intimidating than it actually is if you just take your time.
Oh, I should have made my line bigger, longer. Messed up here, but it's okay.
That's the trickiest part is the ends of basket.
Yeah, this line should have been slightly bigger, but I'll make it work. For the ends, that's why we have a scribe, the boo stick.
Yes, the boo-boo stick, the two-ended tool.
Yes.
You're looking for it. Do you have that in your Amazon store?
Yes, yes, absolutely. You can check out Aniela's when you type into the when you type
Make sure you clean your feet first.
when you type into the Google Aniela's Amazon, my Amazon shop will come up, and there you can find all different categories that I have listed there. So now I'm going to finish this end by piping the line like so. I'm going to trim the end once I'm done with a scribe.
So, Diana, she's asking your colors, Han. Diana's asking
This is a straight ivory, straight from
from the bottle.
from a bottle. Yes, ivory emery color brand.
And Brown Eyes wants to know your tip, the basket.
This is 47. 47 is the basket weave. That's a standard Milton, and the round one is number 3.
She's having trouble with her sound. I don't know if you were hearing that kind of like white noise, and so she's trying to rectify that.
So now I'm going to just go around the edge and trim it. You want to have a piece of paper towel or something on hand to wipe it.
So Han,
Yes.
what's your last tutorial that you put on Patreon?
Last tutorial. What was the last tutorial? It was the mini surf beach houses. Okay, so this is how you can do the basket weave. You can also play with alternating, like instead of using a round, you can use this tip, and instead of using the flat tip, you can use this tip.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just play with different
combinations. I have to say, I like the one you're doing now.
Yeah. Thank you. So I'm going to wrap these in clear
Yes.
wrap to prevent them from drying out. And now I'm going to I guess we have to wait a second. So I'm gonna start on the second one because I don't have an extra one prepared. So
You didn't bake 100 cookies today?
no, only 99. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to spread, and I'm sure you've seen this done many times. And we're gonna, oops.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that done many times. Can we get a replay?
Can we get it? Oh, of course. So I'm just gonna spread a thin layer of black on the bottom here. How is she doing?
She's not there. I don't see her anyway.
Oh, okay. So to make the black, to reduce the amount of food coloring that often is used when you make black, you can use a little bit of cocoa powder to get you started. It
Yes.
also adds a really nice taste. And make it only as dark as like dark gray, and then let it rest. And resting will do the work.
Yes.
So you don't have to add as much food coloring. Okay. So then this has to dry, but lucky me, I've got one.
Oh, you're hiding cookies.
I've got one here. All right, so for this one, I'm going to use unusual tools, and that is a toothbrush. You can see it's stained from food colors, so I only use it for food purposes. And I'm also going to use my little palette knife, and this is a scribe we love using. This is a boo-boo stick. It's great for scraping off icing, and it's also great for smoothing any icing. All right, so now I'm going to use, oh, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to do this later. So here, so I'm gonna spread some icing on here. Oh, it blocked itself out. And we're going to spread it with a palette knife.
I mentioned Patreon earlier. For those of you that don't know what that platform is, it's a platform that was created to support artists that you enjoy. And so you can sign up. We all have one under our handles.
Yes.
If you do a search, Hanielas or Sweet Ams or Montreal Confections, you'll find us. And we each have our different kind of like rewards there and everything. And they have yearly memberships with a discount and lots of good stuff there. We've been loading for quite a while. So if you want to check it out, that's one of the ways you can support us to enjoy what we do. So Han has her beach house, she said she just put up. And I have those candy corn, and I have some cute star ornaments. And Amber will show us shortly what she just put up. A beautiful, maybe you guys saw her beach house on her other.
So now with the toothbrush, what you are going to do, we're just gonna rough it up a little bit. And toothbrush works great. Look.
It's very convenient. Once you're done your cookies, you can just brush your teeth.
Yeah. Little DNA never hurt anyone, right?
In this day of COVID, actually, yes.
Yes, indeed. Now, by doing this, you're also removing some of that icing. So you might want to have a towel on hand or something to kind of wipe that off.
Fernanda says she wishes she had your ability and talent.
Thank you. You do. You do have the ability. You just have to unleash it.
Unleash it, yes.
But we are all good for something, right? All right, so now I'm going to, and this has been done so many times. I'm sure you've seen this before. So I'm starting in the middle, and then I divide my house in halves. And then if you want to add more wood planks, you can add more.
And you can do it like, that's kind of a gray tone, but you could do it brown, right?
You can do it brown. You can do it. You can do. What's the traditional color of the barn? It's like this maroon color, right?
Yes, 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 yes. I know what you're talking
Red
about.
or something like that.
I see a smiling face. Let's see. And the
Hello.
sound is okay.
Hello.
Is it better?
Yes, much.
Okay.
Was it difficult? We're so glad.
Yes.
So glad that you're back. Was it? Sorry.
Hmm.
Sorry to hear it was difficult.
I don't know. I need a new computer, maybe. I don't know what's going on.
Oh. So now I'm going to make. This is crusted over. Because I used pretty thick icing, so it does take on a little bit for it to crust over. If I put my hand on it, it's not dry underneath. Okay, so now I'm just going to use, this is about 20 seconds. And I'm going to make a napkin.
Whose chair? Hey, Marg? Whose chair? Yeah, she was having a little tantrum. She's back.
Okay, now the scribe, you just want to be gentle with it because the icing underneath, it's not dry yet.
Oh, Han's chair. Tell us about your chair, Han.
My chair makes weird noises. Thankfully, I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. I mean, not now. I'm not moving much, but.
Well, sometimes I'm filming a video and I have my chair and it makes noise. I'm like, my God, somebody's watching this video. They're going to think I farted on camera.
I wasn't going to say what it's doing, but it sounds like, yes, exactly. Exactly, you got it. All right, so this is going to be the napkin, and this has to dry, okay? But lucky for you, I have one that is dry, okay? So I've got one, or it should be dry. I've got one here. Now I'm going to use markers. And I hope this is going to work because this marker, I used it earlier today. And yes, it does, Jeremy. Just, really, that was so important for you to know. Yes, it does. So this marker, it's probably 8 years old. And it still has some color in it, but it was so hard to get any color out. So what I did, I couldn't get this open. I didn't have the correct pliers with me, but what you can do, you can actually open it up and you can reload it with some food color. So this is pink, and because you can't really reload it from this side. So what I did, I just added, I kind of dipped it in Everclear to see if it would kind of like rejuvenate the color. So that's what I did. Okay. And hopefully it's
in a pinch, it's the thing to do.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to. Oh, it's working. Excellent.
The nice trick, sometimes you have an order and you don't have time to, like, you have a cookie order and you don't have time to order supplies. So it's nice to have a backup solution.
Not perfect, but I think once I reload it from the back, it's going to be much better.
So Karen wants to know.
Yes.
When you reload, do you use what are you using to do that?
Well, you take there's a cartridge, right, inside of these.
Yeah, but if she's saying, are you thinning out your gel or are you putting airbrush?
Oh no. Well, you can try airbrush, I think, but I thin it with alcohol. But airbrush color is a good idea. But I wouldn't make sure that you don't overdo it, because then once I've done that and I overdid it and it was so saturated, the color was dripping through the point and it was very, very difficult to work with. I did that with brown. I think what you could also do, I guess, if you stand it up, if in the liquid, it will actually draw, the cartridge will draw the color in. Okay, so now I'm going to use red, and we're just going to color these squares.
So have you guys been working on your global belly kits?
Yes,
Yeah,
I have a Christmas kit coming up, if you can
Awesome.
believe that.
Yeah,
Christmas
well,
kit. I'm hoping to have new Halloween ones.
I
Yeah, I
did
don't
some.
think I'm gonna get to a Halloween one this year, unfortunately.
I did a couple of fall ones. I mean, the kits, guys, are super fun because if you're just kind of new to cookie decorating and you don't have a ton of gear, everything's in the box for the project that you select. So
Yes.
we have the link here somewhere we can pop up for them. Here's Hans Global Belly store. Once you're in the Global Belly, you can search Wheat Ams or Montreal Confections.
All right, so now I'm going to ice the whole thing with red. And this is the same red I used for the apples. Super Red by Emery Color brand. And I'm not too worried about how perfect this is going to be.
Oh yeah, it looks not perfect at all. Looks like it's cookie surgery. The little cloth hanging out, the perfect little basket.
Okay, so now I'm using, this is actually red that I made from this red, and I added a little bit of brown food coloring.
The blanket or the picnic blanket was fun, or royal icing, wasn't it?
Yes, that is royal icing, yes. You could, I was actually thinking to speed it up. You could, I think, get away with frosting sheet, but I don't know because this is textured. Royal icing actually will sit on it, and it creates a texture in the blanket as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if a royal icing, not royal icing, frosting sheet would work.
For those for the subscription, you can do a 3 or 6 month subscription, but you can't choose which kits you want, unfortunately. So those are already set. That's at
Now we're
Global
going
Belly.
to do the same thing. I'm gonna add the stems. Okay.
Essentially, Jeremy's asking what your favorite color to decorate with is.
My color?
Favorite color to use, yes.
Oh, I love pink. Oh, pink.
And
I mean, you should ask which color I don't like to use. I think that's a better question. Yeah.
what about you, Amber? Do you have a fave?
I really like that Wedgwood blue.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is a nice color.
I think a way to kind of self-analyze that is go look at somebody's photo stream on Instagram and go through, like, scroll, and which color you see the most of, that's their favorite color.
Oh, I don't use pink a whole lot.
No?
I think. No, I don't know. Do I?
We'll
All
have
right.
to
So
look
now
at your
it's time to
Instagram.
add the. You see the apples? These I made before. I'm gonna quickly then show you how to do the leaves, but super simple. So now I'm going to, while this is wet, I'm going to.
So those, the transfer sheet is in your coffee shop, right? For that?
Yes, that is correct. The transfer sheet is in a coffee shop. And I also included PDF file that's set size. This is this size, but there is also JPEG, which you can use and you can resize it if you need to make apples that are bigger.
Mm-hmm. So Amber, do you know the answer to this?
Yeah, if you do the 3 month, it's 3 months in a row. But you can also just sign up monthly, and you can skip a month. You can pause your subscription. You can cancel it, come back later. So if so it's very flexible. But the kits, the kits themselves, the designs aren't flexible because we choose those ahead of time.
So a certain design goes out for a certain month.
Play with the placing of your transfers, but I added these apples to give it a bit more depth. What you could do in the future, if you decide to do this, you could do the wet on wet apples with different colors to have maybe like a different colors. I don't know, yellow or apples come in different colors, green and things like that.
Yes,
okay?
absolutely. I'm gonna go get my cookie. But Amber, talk about your house.
Yeah, okay. Let's do that. So it's a little weird here because I have the phone set up now in front of me, but I still have my laptop next to me. So remember I made that cookie beach house a couple weeks ago, and somebody suggested, I don't remember who it was, but someone said you should bring it with you to the beach to take pictures. So I did.
Okay, how do we? Should I put you in a?
Well, she's gonna play the screen, I think.
You're gonna play the screen. Okay, excellent.
All right. Yeah, you ready?
We're ready.
Yes,
okay,
ready.
So here's the
So
beach
perfect.
house at the beach.
Looks photoshopped.
Yeah. Oh, it's real.
Oh,
I
how
was
she
there.
plays the rocks. I love it. I love it. Did you play? How long did it take? Were you placing the propping stuff?
It didn't take too long. I was probably out there 20 minutes or so because we still have the kids running around, so I didn't have too much time to play around with it. But I feel like I looked like a big weirdo out there with my
weirdos are fine. I like weirdos.
Come on! I was at the beach with the chocolate bombs, with the glass. With the milk.
I forgot about that. Yeah. So I posted on my Patreon.
I love this one.
Oh, thank you. Photo. Yeah, I posted on my Patreon a little bit more about the shoot, and I posted some behind the scenes photos of me taking the pictures and sitting with the house on the beach. So if you want to take a look at some more of those photos, you can go on my Patreon, become a subscriber at the mid-level or the upper levels, and you'll have access to all that behind the scenes stuff.
And you decorated it during some previous live streams so they can watch on replay.
Yes.
Also to see the actual house. So bring out your other cookie, the other design.
Oh, I should bring out the other cookie. All right, so here is the other cookie. So I'm not gonna do the top because the top, you see, the top is basically the same as the other one. So that's the same technique. But the bottom one, what I did, and you're going to think I'm crazy because I looked online, and these baskets, they have to hold them together, to hold the wood planks together. They have 2 or 3, whatever. I guess it's an iron, right, or some kind of a right to hold them together. Or do they use wood? Or sometimes they shape the wood, right? They shape the wood. It's like the barrel kind of a thing, I guess. So they have actually these are like staples.
You painted them, or they're silver already?
Oh no, this is like no. These are staples from icing.
Oh,
you made them with icing. I thought they were jimmies.
No. That's what I mean. You're gonna think I'm crazy. Yes. So much detail, but very important is not to use them from the side you're painting. You want them to be flat, so you want to use them from the other side. And then I used and this is something I have to do now because.
So if you're entering a decorating contest and you're all about the details, this
is something that I picked up from Amber, actually. I don't know where you used it. I think it was your sunflower house that you did. And you covered a tip. You covered piece of a tip with a tape.
Yes.
This is so cool. Because this is really wide, So in case you need a narrow section, let me just see if it's coming out. All right.
So you MacGyvered it.
Well, yes, I did. So all you do is I'm using a masking tape. Now it's not gonna stick for me there. Okay. And we're gonna do, oops, this way. You see how much narrower it is? I love it.
Tanya, bring it down.
Oh, sorry. And now on to those.
Let's hope she never has to, Jeremy. He's saying you could defuse a bomb with your cookie supplies, but we don't want to have to do that.
This is quite tricky how you want to place them. This is totally optional. If you're killing some time and have nothing else to do, make your own royal icing staples. Oops.
I guess you have to work quickly too because it's not.
Oh no, yeah, it's already
Yeah,
crusting. Yes.
it's already giving you a little bit of resistance.
Yes. Now I guess you need to paint this silver, right?
I would imagine if you're going this to this point, you need to go all the way.
Yeah.
So then you would let it dry and then you paint it silver and then you repeat the step where you add the apples like I did. So I also did another step, and then this is probably, if you don't have silver but you want to, I used gray petal dust on my little
Staples.
Yeah, staples. I didn't paint with silver, but I might do silver painting later.
Honestly, that's the perfect cookie cutter for this design because it really suits it perfectly.
All right, so here are 3 designs. So this one, I didn't show you this one, but it's very, similar to the other ones. And then this one. And I will have all of these loaded to one of my channels, and you can keep up with all the updates on Instagram. My handle is Hanielas, and I always share all the updates there where the tutorials are loaded and things like that. So be sure to follow me there. And also, if you are on my blog, hanielas.com, be sure to subscribe to my newsletter.
And if you're just arriving, the live streams are saved and you can watch them on replay. We have a ton. We've been live streaming now. I think it's it's a year. I mean, it's more than a year.
A year and a half, I think.
Yeah. So you guys, there's a lot of awesome projects we've been working on, and you could check it out for either on YouTube or on Facebook, all that. And so is it my turn?
Yes.
Right turn on. Let's see. Let's hope this works. I don't have.
So the petal dust, I'm gonna petal dust and luster dust. Petal dust is matte and luster dust is lustrous. That's just it's pretty much a given. And so I'll show you. This is the petal dust or color dust sometimes, depending on the brand. So see, it has no shine whatsoever. It's usually used to give some shading on the flowers or fondant work. You can use it on there. Do you have luster dust on hand, Ems? You probably don't. But luster dust it has mica. Mica is a metallic material. It's food safe. And that's what gives the luster dust some shine. So that's the main difference. And I don't know the cost wise. I think they're probably both the same, right? You will go faster through luster dust than you will go through petal dust, because petal dust you really need just a tiny bit, and if it's a good quality, you really like you need just like on the tip of the brush. But luster dust you'll go through much, and the paint petal dust is only used I think in dry form, right? Or do you use it in a liquid form, Ams?
I do. I use it for painting.
Okay, so Amber uses petal dust also for painting. So you dilute it with alcohol?
Yeah.
Okay. But luster dust you can also use dry or wet. Mostly I think people use it wet. Look who is here.
Maybe it's good.
What's going on today?
Okay.
Welcome to live streaming. Yes, indeed.
Welcome to live streaming. Here he is.
Now I don't know if this is for Christmas or this is Halloween.
Well, okay, so this is one of the tutorials that's in my cookie school group right now. So he's a little kind of snowman ornament cookie. I thought he was cute, but I'm like, oh well, I need to slow down. I'm skipping a lot of stuff. So today I decided I had cut him. He was the plan, but we're going Halloween. So
okay, so you're not skipping. I thought you were gonna do Christmas, but then this doesn't look like Christmas.
exactly. So I'm just showing. So this is a Franken cookie, Christmas, but I'm franking like I'm
so
switching up
cool.
even this.
It's so I nearly created a new word. I was gonna say it's so cool, and I said cute. So it's so cute, cool, cute.
So the template, I'm gonna add it. Today was a little hectic on Tuesday. I mentioned to on the live stream that it was my husband's birthday. So yeah, I'm a little bit with all the festivities a little bit behind, but I did make the template and I'll load it in the groups. And so I put that on with a marker, adding your guidelines. It's helpful. You can repeat the designs more easily, and it just takes the guesswork out of placement and stuff. So this little guy is a take on, I guess, Jack Skellington. So I'm working in white right now, and this icing is super stiff in like for flood, because his head is so round and I wanted it to kind of hold. So the thicker your icing is, the more kind of backbone, I want to say, it manages to hold, stays up a little bit more. It doesn't heal as well. It's a little bit more finicky, but it allows for a little bit more dimension.
So Mar, you have some experience. So Angie's asking, do you guys use edible images? And if you do, how do you apply them to your cookies?
Years ago, I had a printer. So I would put them in the wet icing. I would just flood and then put them in the wet icing. The perimeter did curl, but then I would put a border and they would flatten.
Yeah, that's what I would do. But I also have used them on dry icing. And I just used like a really thin layer of royal to glue them on.
I've seen people use piping gel and cornstarch. Not cornstarch, corn syrup.
I guess I am Shona.
And so now I've got his little eye hole, so I know where to kind of place those eyes. And so
What's your favorite holiday for the deck? Well, we don't have to ask Mar because she loves Halloween, right? That's your favorite holiday to decorate cookies for, right? Because you forget everything else. You just want to do Halloween all year long, huh?
Well, I don't know what the heck is up with Halloween, because I've never really been that Halloweenish, but for whatever reason, my brain is wired for it. And I just think about Halloween designs. I'm a little bit, I don't know.
What about you, Ams?
I like springtime for decorating, but I think we talked about this before, like how I don't like Christmas cookies because I feel very boxed in. But this year, I'm just gonna do things that are like a little unusual for Christmas. Like, for example, the beach house is a Christmas beach house. So I'm gonna just do things that make me more excited to decorate this year.
Not so much traditional, but
right
out of the box.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now I'm adding his little shoes.
So Debbie, she dips cookies and she lets them dry, and then she uses corn syrup to apply her
Yeah, I think the
edible image.
I think the dipping's a great solution too, because the whole point, right? And you don't have as much icing underneath, and it's so fast. And now for his little hands. So this design, I came up with it because I was looking, you know, a little bit on Pinterest. I try to avoid looking too much at ideas because then I feel I'm being influenced and I want to come up with my own stuff. But there's a lot of like star Santas, but I didn't like the way that the head was coming out. So I said, well, why does it need to have the head of the star, like the top, right? So I just Franken cookied on an actual head of the snowman, and I have a Santa version in the tutorial. There's Santa, a gingerbread man, and this little snowman.
So Paula, to answer your questions, I have something in works that will include undecorated cookies, but it's not ready yet.
Oh, really?
I have
Wow.
a buttercream one, kit 3 coming out of the
Yes,
buttercream.
Marlin has really.
Oh, nice.
Cool. You mean the stacked ones, right?
Yeah.
They're super fancy, but easy to do. Very easy to do.
Exactly.
Not complicated.
Exactly.
Buttercream.
So once you get to this, you want to let it dry a little bit because it'll allow for a little bit more separation in between your sections. So here he is, moving along. So now I'm just going to fill in. This is a lot of black, but he's such a beloved character. Everybody loves this guy. I did like a head on a Santa cookie cutter, and like it got people liked it a lot.
Are you going to the Grinch on this shape?
If I could do the Grinch, I guess I could. He's another, talk about beloved characters.
Yes.
I did quite a few Santas. I'm on my 3rd Santa, or 4th maybe already for this year.
Wow.
You do love. Yeah, I think that's the obsession with the Halloween. Sorry, I don't want to call it that, but it is an obsession with Halloween, candy corn, and Santa.
I do love Santa.
You love doing Santa cookies.
Well, it's a challenge to make Santa different ways, right?
But I mean, I do admire it because I'm like with the Santa, I'm with Amber. I'm always like, well, Santa is always the same. You know, like how it's always the same. But you're right. Like if you use a different cutter or maybe even different colors.
You can use the nonpareil for the fluff on his hat. You can do sanding sugar. You can make it gray. And now, you know, you can have international Santa. You can have, you know, like you can put a different face on the Santa cutter. You could do a puppy wearing the hat, you know, like you can switch up your cutters. It doesn't have to be a human face. It could be your kid's favorite character.
Hey, Karen, so you can do Grinch on a candy corn, maybe?
What did I see the Grinch on? He was on an ornament.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did the Grinch actually in the middle of a wreath. So he was in the center of the wreath. And so that was a good way to kind of add
And
a character.
not to take away, but I did a Grinch house
Yes.
a couple of years ago. Leaning house. That was a fun project.
So there he is, okay, and I've left a little gap in the middle of the hat there to be able to put a ribbon. And so now we're at this point.
Oh, you have a dry one.
Well, not really. Like I say, this morning we went out for breakfast for Jamie's birthday, and so I'm not as organized as I'd like to be today. And so I'm using this color for the ribbon on his hat here. And so if you're not like that comfortable with piping, you can shape with your needle and move the icing where you want it to go. And so by having it this way, it's like a little bit more flush with the bottom, like, you know, the bottom area. So there, and now I do have a second layer of template here, which is tricky because, like I say, my icing is not completely dry, and I shouldn't have added that ribbon, but we'll try to. Here, I'm gonna just put this here. So this, he's got that little cap thing or bat head on his.
Orange? Are you using orange?
Yeah. So you see there. So he's
Hi,
got,
Stephanie. Hi, Mona. Thank you. Everybody's loving it.
so he's got that little bat head, I think it is, eh? What do you guys think it is? I'm not sure what it is.
It's a bat.
It is?
It's a bat. It's definitely a bat. I did a Nightmare Before Christmas gingerbread house, and I've studied.
Oh, okay. So there.
It's a bat.
So in the head there, while it's wet, you want to add your little.
Hey, Olga.
A speck
Amazing
of icing. A little speck of icing, and get it to sink in there. You can kind of shape them to look a little bit more evilish.
Oh, he looks evilish, all right.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna.
I'm very certain it's a bat, Jeremy, unless you can prove me wrong. I hope you cannot prove me wrong.
So here's like kind of, I guess, what would be the wings then to this bat bow tie.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're just
like, let's say you are not skilled enough to do what Marlon is doing. You can just do the bow tie as a cookie for the, with Jack's design.
Well, that would be a great way to use. I mean, how often do we use the bow tie cookie cutter?
Not often, but I just spotted it a few days ago, and I might like. That's why I got inspired seeing what you're doing here. Yes, I have very strong feelings about the bats and bow tie. It's perfect.
Looks awesome.
So
You see,
there.
like, it's such a small detail, and it just like makes the cookie alive.
Okay,
Not
now.
that it was dead before, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
It's really like.
So now I'm just adding the lapels to the little jacket here.
Jennifer says it's very, very cool.
Well, if I wasn't live, I would let the sections dry a little bit longer so that, there's more separation and definition between it all. But you can see here.
But I think your icing is thick enough to hold its shape, and it's not like it's blending into one another.
I'm hesitant to actually draw the face, the mouth on, because he's not that dry. So I'm very likely going to be going through his.
We're going to hear you breathe, I'm sure.
Yeah, I went in for sure.
Yeah, I see that, but it's okay because it almost like mimics the teeth.
Well, it's just to show you guys. So there. And then this is a product, it's called, the line is Fractal. And it's actually quite like a paintbrush. There's not a lot of this on the market. So I'm just going to demo it. It does work well, but right now, because I'm live, this thing is not that dry, but it's a white marker to draw his stripes,
Oh, that's awesome.
On his little.
That's another detail that is going to elevate this to a completely different level, yes.
And so
yes, we do agree. Halloween needs more than a single day, Jennifer says. That's why we're going to be dedicating more lives to Halloween soon. Not right? In September, I think we'll be doing some more Halloween decorating.
So you can see, like, this is just a quick demonstration.
So where is the white pen from?
It's the brand So you can Google like a store that would sell it. It's Fractal, the makers of it. And it's white food color in it. And you can see this is on black icing. The line, like I went quickly. You can do a pretty fine line. And I mean, he's pretty close. I would finesse him a little bit more if I wasn't on here, but generally you're getting the idea, the inspiration behind it. And I'll add the template in the group for you guys that want to recreate the design. It's the same concept as the snowman. You can see here, it's exactly the same Franken cookie situation, just a completely different, you know, holiday. A lot of black as opposed to a lot of white.
Yes. Now, if you want to make your with the white pen yourself, if you can get your hands on it, you could do it with a yellow marker from the, you know, the
I guess I've seen
that. Americolor brand. You can, the one I was using, because it has a cartridge inside, like old-fashioned pens we used to have, or markers. So you can actually take the cartridge out. You can rinse it out really, really well. Get all the, because yellow, Marlene always says, and it is true, yellow is rarely used. So you can rinse it out completely, and then you can load it, let it saturate with white. Then you can have yourself a homemade if you can.
And you can paint with a paintbrush. You can use food gel.
Yes, exactly. You can use, yeah. But I mean, this was so much easier to use a pen.
It's fast. It's like a thing. So when I got it, I was a bit disappointed initially. It needs to be kind of.
I remember. Yeah. So I'm now, yes, I remember you said it wasn't too.
So it just needed more kind of like startup, like it needed to kind of be used for the kind of the thing to get into the tip.
You had to break it in like a car.
Yeah, because at first it wasn't even doing anything, but I mean, you can see it's quite good. So that's it.
It looks awesome.
And if you want, I guess you could pipe the line wet on wet in white if you're so inclined, but that's kind of a bit risky, you know?
Yeah, then you have bleeding, and I think it would be also much more time consuming to do the wet on wet.
Well, that's
it.
It
Looks great. And we are right on time. It hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah, I'm just being quiet, saying like my connection is like terrible today. So, but
yes,
loved watching you guys. Great.
I think we all been there where it's just not something in the stars that's, you know, the way they're rolling, something it's not working. So
if you guys enjoy what we're doing, you can support us, like we've mentioned, either on Patreon, where you can sign up for our monthly tutorials, and as well, you get access to the previous uploads. On Coffee, if you want to just purchase one of something.
Yes.
And you
can also on Global Belly. Amber has her subscription club. We talked about this earlier. I also have my subscription club, and I think Marlene, you also. I don't know if it's up.
It's going to launch soon. You can sign up for their newsletter and receive the updates for that.
For Global Belly newsletter, yes.
And on Coffee, you can make a one-off donation. You can buy us a coffee.
Exactly.
So, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for joining us. Han and I will be back on Tuesday. Amber will be back decorating next Friday. And she's going to have something so awesome because she's so rested and she's so inspired.
Yes.
Oh, next week it's my Friday off.
I guess, yes, you've been working hard.
My Friday off, but I will have, like, I had 4 or 5 lives this week, so I'm pretty pretty worn out, but it's very, very, tiring to do all these lives. But I did 5 lives altogether when I built my first Halloween gingerbread house of 2021. And I'm going to have a tutorial sometime soon. So, yeah, and I will be live again with some other projects, but I don't know when yet.
Well, thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.